The Reverend, the Chaplain to the University.
Let us pray. Veni Sancti Spiritus, Repletuorum corda fidelium, et tui amoris in eis ignem accende, qui per diversitatum linguarum cunctarum, gentes in unitate fidei congregasti. Come, Holy Spirit, fill the hearts of your faithful, and kindle in them the fire of your love. You are the one who, in spite of differences in language, gather the nations into the unity of faith. Amen.
Friends, may I extend a very warm University of Aberdeen welcome to this graduation ceremony. Feilcha Cíl a Haden, do Humanahead o Hai Obadean. Please be seated. Professor Alcobia Murphy.
Vice-Chancellor, colleagues, honoured guests, ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to welcome you all on behalf of the University of Aberdeen to this graduation, during which we will be applauding the fantastic achievements of... We talk about a pride of lions, a charm of hummingbirds, a choir of angels, and a flock of sheep. But what are we to call you? With the uttering of a few magical Latin words, you will be transformed before our very eyes. You will shuffle towards this stage as nervous, twitchy graduands, and you will bound down these steps as confident and rightfully chuffed graduates. But what is the appropriate collective noun for you? In Words for a Modern Age, John Robertson puts forward two suggestions. An unemployment of graduates and a veil of graduates. The first is far too cynical and tongue-in-cheek and untrue. The second is a tad downbeat, with a veil coming from the Latin vale, meaning goodbye and farewell. And we do not want this occasion to be marked as a valediction, but as a celebration. You're part of our family as well now, and we want you to stay in touch and keep us up to date about all your successes in the future. Perhaps then a bevy of graduates, with bevy coming from company, but also from the Italian bevuta, meaning a drinking bout. But I would suggest something more serious and sober, a richesse, or a richness of graduates. And this evening we are here to celebrate such a wonderful richesse. By the way, the collective noun for those of us up here on stage is a pomposity of professors. And this particular pomposity, in all its robes and finery, have benefited enormously from your diligence, hard work, creative ideas, and inspiring presence throughout the years. You owe us nothing, apart from, perhaps, a final, grudging, and long overdue admission that you were right about that essay mark after all, Professor. Sorry for the grumpy emails, attempted bribery, and stalking. Your parents and friends should be rightfully proud of all of you, as you should be of them. After all, they've been there to support you throughout your studies. They've placated you when you suffered the apparent unfairness of a C3 for a piece of work, or they've helped you overcome the breakup with your one true love, or they have growled at you while you nursed the pains of an impressively won hangover. I expect that there will be much growling on all sides tonight after this evening's festivities. You are graduating with a degree of Master of Arts, and you've assimilated, as such, a huge amount of knowledge. In fact, this particular recess would make an unbeatable pub quiz team. One which knows, for example, that octopuses, or octopi, have 3 hearts, that the ozone layer smells faintly of geraniums, and that Agatha Christie was a keen surfer. But whatever subject-specific knowledge and skills that you've acquired, I believe that a degree in the humanities has also made you more perceptive and sensitive human beings, and that it's taught you to both think critically and independently. You are now able to read powerfully, to write lucidly, and to speak articulately. The arts, as Daniel Schwartz reminds us, take us into imagined worlds created by different minds and enable us to understand how others live. And quite frankly, we need the arts now more than ever. We have depleted the ozone layer, and the waves are less for surfing than suffering, carrying as they do our fellow human beings who have been betrayed to new lands and who were subsequently vilified and demonized in newspaper articles and used as pawns by our politicians. Nowadays, man is less than the octopus. He seems to have no heart. I'm reminded of Warson Shire's poem, What They Did Yesterday Afternoon. I've been praying, and these are what my prayers look like. Dear God, I come from 2 countries. One is thirsty, the other is on fire. Both need water. Later that night, I held an atlas in my lap, ran my fingers across the whole world and whispered, where does it hurt? It answered, everywhere, everywhere, everywhere. As the emerging generation of empowered and enlivened minds, how will you stop that hurt? French, Hispanic studies, language and linguistics, Gaelic studies, Celtic and Anglo-Saxon studies, film and visual culture, economics, English. None of these subjects can seemingly stop a bullet or a tank. They cannot forestall a volcanic eruption. They cannot really stop Donald Trump from getting elected. Or global warming from turning Aberdeen into a tropical paradise. But, as Schwartz reminds us, even while teaching us, the arts insert a pause between the tick and the talk, and in a sense, suspend our diurnal lives. And we need to assert the value of that pause. Use that pause to think critically and differently, to give interpretive order to our lives. Books are seemingly ineffective. And yet, as the great Carl Sagan states, writing is perhaps the greatest of human inventions, binding together people who never knew each other, citizens of distant epochs. Books break the shackles of time. A book, he says, is proof that human beings are capable of working magic. Perhaps you can use that magic to shape a better world. Sir Winston Churchill, addressing the Royal Academy in 1938, argued that ill fares the race which fails to salute the arts with the reverence and delight which are their due. He's talking about becoming custodians of the arts. Yet you are not just the custodians of the arts and humanities. You are now the pioneers and the creators, and you have responsibilities to use your knowledge wisely. We get it wrong sometimes. After all, Michael Gove studied English, George Osborne studied history, and Boris Johnson read the classics. They learned nothing. Rather than initiating the destruction of our society like them, I hope you use your knowledge in a humane fashion. Finally, it is my hope that during your time at this university, you've experienced two things. The first is that over the course of your studies, you've come upon a sentence or a passage which just stopped you in your tracks, and made you smile? From my days as a scholar, I've two examples to share. The first is from Stephanie Meyer's Eclipse. Fall down again, Bella? No, Emmett, I punched a werewolf in the face. That is a truly original sentence. The second is a little naughty. It's from Jane Austen's Northanger Abbey. Such was Catherine Morland at 10. At 15, appearances were mending. She began to curl her hair and long for balls. The ambiguity there is a little bit startling and certainly mind-boggling. The second thing that I hope you have experienced is, sentimentally, perhaps the comfort of wise words from an eccentric academic. Just prior to my own graduation, I was summoned to the lair of a feared and frankly sectionable professor of medieval studies. He was a man who could turn you to stone with one brief glance, and with whom I had battled and struggled to please over 3 long years. So I knocked with some trepidation at his office door. There was silence. Then from inside, a furtive shuffling of feet. But there was no response, so I knocked again. More silence, more shuffling of feet, but this time it was faster and more frantic. Stupidly, perhaps, I knocked a third time, and then I heard a faint, strangled enter. Inside was total darkness. He had his curtains closed, and I saw his outline behind the desk, and he was staring at me, big eyes, and his hand was waving at me to take a seat. I did not want to die. In the corner of the room was the largest pile of carrots I had ever seen. There was no rabbit. It was not concealing a body, and I was not yet a vegetarian. I was not hungry. But, he said, I suppose you want to know why I asked you here. Does a bear in the woods? But I could not respond. I was thinking about carrots and rabbits and concealed bodies. He said, I apologize for being so hard on you, but believe me, it was well meant. I was touched, not in the way that I was fearing, with the closed curtains and all. He said, you kept giving me back what you thought I wanted to hear. You kept replaying my arguments in your assignments, but in the last year, you finally stood on your own 2 feet and began thinking for yourself. Wow, I was glowing. You're wrong, of course, about everything, he said. But still, it's good to see you think independently. Continue in that vein. So I congratulate you in all your richesse. I salute you, and we will be applauding you in all our pomposity. This is your day, and I wish you all the best for the future. And I am sorry if we were harsh on you, but it was well meant. Please continue to think independently, because this world sorely needs it. Thank you.
Professor Bender.
Vice Chancellor, I present to you for the award of the degree of Doctor of Laws, Honoris Causa, Dame Frances Cairncross. While Dame Frances read modern history, earning first-class honors at the University of Oxford, she is best known for her writing about economics in the context of broader society. No doubt her interest in economics started early, sitting around the dinner table with her father, the noted economist Sir Alec Cairncross. But throughout her career, she has continued to develop a fundamental understanding of real-world economics, and importantly, the ability to communicate what that means for people, companies, governments, and society. Through her reporting and columns in a variety of media outlets such as The Guardian and The Economist, and in her numerous books, including the prescient The Death of Distance in the mid-1990s, she has repeatedly shown a keen and wide-ranging intellect, one that is adept at weaving together seemingly disparate ideas from a range of disciplines to offer new ways of thinking. A small sample of topics about which she has written includes such diverse areas as technology and communication, the environment, demography, and management techniques. As well as her outstanding record as an author, Dame Frances has also made an immense contribution to social science and indeed to the wider higher education endeavor. In the early part of this century, she chaired the Economic and Social Research Council, one of the key research funding bodies in the UK, through a period of growth and increasing influence, and was also the president of the British Science Association, which does so much to communicate science. More recently, she has served on the advisory boards of the Institute of Fiscal Studies and the National Institute for Economic and Social Research, two organizations that use high-quality research to inform our understanding of real-world problems. True to form, when the latter needed executive leadership for a period, she stepped into the breach highly effectively. In the broader higher education sphere, Dame Frances served as the rector of Exeter College, Oxford, where under her leadership it became a place to be in Oxford, and she is currently serving as the chair of Heriot-Watt University in Edinburgh. Vice Chancellor, it is for these reasons that I invite you to confer the degree of Doctor of Laws Honoris Causa on Dame Frances Cairncross.
Ego te utriusque juris, tam canonicae quam civilis, doctorum et magistrum constituo creo proclamo renuntio, et in signum caput tuum hoc pilio orno, quod ac felix fastumque sit, Deum optimum maximum precor. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Professor Finster.
Vice-Chancellor, ladies and gentlemen, I present to you for 50 years service to the University, Professor Alex Kemp. 1966, apparently in England, a significant year in football. More importantly, this was the year when Alex Kemp started his career as an assistant lecturer in the Department of Economics at Aberdeen. 50 years later, Alex remains as active in research and teaching as ever. An academic who's throughout his professional life has worked to make his research useful and accessible for industry and governments, an acknowledged world expert on all economic and policy issues around the North Sea oil and gas industry, advisor to governments, international organisations, etc. His contribution to the university has been this, but is also much more. He is part of the fabric of the university community, a person whose generosity of spirit and openness has touched and changed the lives of generations of students. This Long Service Award therefore represents a small acknowledgement from his colleagues, students, and the wider university community of his outstanding contribution to the university. Alex, many congratulations. Given your continuing energy and commitment, I look forward to being present for your Long Service Award for 75 years of service.
Fantastic. Well done. And now, walking down the aisle towards me is William Gray. And William is going to perform for us Nocturne in C minor, Op. 48, number 1, by Frédéric Chopin. William is a gifted pianist who attended the Aberdeen City Music School, one of a small number of specialist music schools in the UK. He has just completed his first year reading for the degree of Bachelor of Music. William. promoter of graduates.
Domini procancelare, Domini doctores et magistri et tota universitas, presenta vobis hos candidatos, examine probatos, ad gradum magistratus in artibus liberalibus promovendos.
Inuente senatu placet primaveri.
Ascendant Chen Yang Zhu.
Ego auctoritate quam sumi et potentissimi principes alma huic universitatea amplissimum mindel serent, teon artibus liberalibus magistrum creo, in quies rei testimonium caput tuum hopilio orno quod felix fastum quae sit, deum optimum maximum plecor. Congratulations.
Ellen Guest.
Et se creo.
Qui honoris mero erunt. Ascendant Kayleigh Fitzgerald Ragg.
Et se creo.
Kirsty Lunan.
Et se creo.
Konstantinos Anagnostou.
Et se creo.
Pia Boehm.
Et se creo.
Malvina Bondi.
Et se creo.
Diana Kojakaru.
Et se creo.
Jude Doughty.
Et se creo.
Maria Dimitrova.
Et se creo.
Alexander Eisner.
Et se creo.
Ian Hardy.
Et se creo.
Matthias Haugestad.
Et se creo.
David Healy.
Et se creo.
Martin Christoph.
Et se creo.
Skaisti Yarinaiti.
Et se creo.
Yava Yuknaiti.
Et se creo.
Roman Kral.
Et se creo.
Harris Ludford Jones.
Et se creo.
Kirill Lukyanov.
Et se creo.
Fiona MacDonald.
Et se creo.
Fraser Maddox.
Et se creo.
Konstantin Milchev.
Et se creo.
Michael Miller.
Etse Kriya.
Joseph Namdar.
Etse Kriya.
Edgar Oganessian.
Etse Kriya.
Christina Pakala.
Etse Kriya.
Alistair Pocock.
Etse Kriya.
Blair Sangster.
Etse Kriya.
Gregor Stirling.
Etse Kriya.
Irma Vestlund.
Etse Kriya.
Christopher Webber.
Etse Kriya.
Jack Wiley.
Etse Kriya.
Michael Axelson.
Etse Kriya.
Nam Bui Huai.
Etse Kriya.
Tobias Bula.
Etse Kriya.
Sean Connolly.
Etse Kriya.
Gerda Dugnaity.
Etse Kriya.
Emmanuel Fleury.
Etse Kriya.
Sabowicz Hari.
Etse Kriya.
Jack Harris.
Etse Kriya.
Yu Yan Zhang.
Etse Kriya.
Ivarus Kalaima.
Etse Kriya.
Roland Kazaks.
Etse Kriya.
Jonathan Coos.
Etse Kriya.
Tauli Kuki.
Etse Kriya.
Bing Liu.
Etse Kriya.
Dan Yan Lu.
Etse Kriya.
Mark McIntyre.
Etse Kriya.
Brigitta Pabriajaiti.
Etse Kriya.
Yeva Sabliuskaiti.
Etse Kriya.
Duncan Shepherd.
Etse Kriya.
Craig Stewart.
Etse Kriya.
Justina Tarkowska.
Ete Kriya.
Junya Wong.
Ete Kriya.
Lian Wong.
Ete Kriya.
Nai Kian Wu.
Ete Kriya.
James Lath.
Ete Kriya.
Callum Sandilands.
Ete Kriya.
Aditya Singla.
Ete Kriya.
Callum Woolsey.
Ete Kriya.
Elna Alklev.
Ete Kriya.
Micah Ambrazas.
Ete Kriya.
Dimitris Andreevs.
Ete Kriya.
Beata Beller.
Ete Kriya.
Ruben Pimenta.
Ete Kriya.
Stephen Docherty.
Ete Kriya.
Emily Gordine.
Ete Kriya.
Oscar Gramstad.
Ete Kriya.
Finlay Jones.
Ete Kriya.
Christoph Semken.
Ete Kriya.
Rasmus Ude.
Ete Kriya.
Pauline Font Sabeltitz.
Ete Kriya.
Friederika Wipfler.
Ete Kriya.
Rita Zliuti.
Ete Kriya.
Michael Donnell.
Ete Kriya.
Lisa Howe.
Ete Kriya.
Stefania Ilieva.
Ete Kriya. And now, walking down the aisle towards me is Kevin Cameron. And Kevin is this evening going to perform for us Thera Bata, a 19th century Gaelic song by Sheena Nifino of Skye. Kevin has just completed his second year reading for a Bachelor of Music degree. He is a choral scholar in the choir of King's College Aberdeen and an organ scholar at St Andrew's Cathedral Aberdeen. He has won many competitions at the Royal National Mod, both as a singer and fiddler. Kevin.
Etem praesenta vobis hos candidatos examine probatos ad gradum magistratus in altibus liberalibus promovendos.
Anuente senatu placet promoveri.
Ascendant Alexandra Pavelikova.
Ego auctoritate quam summi et potentissimi principes almoi huic universitatea amplissimum middle serent, te natibus liberalibus magistrum creo, in quies rei testimonium caput tuum hoc pilio orno quodit Felix Faustum quae sit, Deum optimum maximum plecor.
Emilia Petrova.
Et te creo.
Suhaib Rasul.
Et te creo.
Dominic Sokolek.
Et te creo.
Kostadin Sorchev.
Et te creo.
Slavis Stoev.
Et te creo.
Ross Taylor.
Et te creo.
Yi Yang Wong.
Et te creo.
Marketa Slukova.
Et te creo.
Laura Arzina.
Et te creo.
Pierre de Chazeau-Boutet.
Et te creo.
Ina Kam.
Et te creo.
Rory McGregor.
Et te creo.
Richard Wood.
Et te creo.
Stuart Smith.
Et te creo.
Marios Theokaropoulos.
Et te creo.
Karen Tour.
Et te creo.
Fiona Roper.
Et te creo.
John Jacobson.
Et te creo.
Nedelko Tudzarov.
Et te creo.
Adelina Kiskaiti.
Et te creo.
Ileana Kostova.
Et te creo.
Kiara Lentz.
Et te creo.
Gordon Park.
Et te creo.
Nicola Robertson.
Et te creo.
Isabella Fausti.
Et te creo.
Melissa Costine.
Et te creo.
Pauline Taubach.
Et te creo.
Martina Buzhnakova.
Ete Korea.
Catherine Perry.
Ete Korea.
Faith Thompson.
Ete Korea.
Anna Wilkes.
Ete Korea.
Hannah Cunningham.
Ete Korea.
Alexander Layden.
Ete Korea.
Andre Preda.
Ete Korea.
Jenna Klein.
Ete Korea.
Naomi Guzman Santana.
Ete Korea.
Kirsten Kinloch.
Ete Korea.
Rachel Murphy.
Ete Korea.
Gemma Reed.
Ete Korea.
Mary Taylor.
Ete Korea.
Sophie Ward.
Ete Korea.
Rory Collins.
Ete Korea.
Valeria Malaja.
Ete Korea.
Siobhan Doyle.
Ete Korea.
Irena Nemkova.
Ete Korea.
Amy McKenzie.
Ete Korea.
Grace Ann Robertson.
Ete Korea.
Gemma Wilson.
Ete Korea.
Naomi Gillis.
Ete Korea.
Jessica Campbell.
Ete Korea.
Callum Swansborough.
Ete Korea.
Natasha Madigan.
Ete Korea.
Jeremy Smith.
Ete Korea.
Stephen Kello.
Ete Korea.
Amy Clement.
Ete Korea.
Joanne Heyman.
Ete Korea.
Jennifer Bowden.
Ete Korea.
Hannah Cowie.
Ete Korea.
Alice McLennan.
Ete Korea.
Alison McDonald.
Etse Kriya.
Justina Stausner.
Etse Kriya.
Annie Duffus.
Etse Kriya.
Vari Shilton.
Etse Kriya.
Natalia Frolova.
Etse Kriya.
Craig Martin.
Etse Kriya.
Max Pull Your Frame.
Etse Kriya.
Jennifer Warnock.
Etse Kriya.
Alistair Spray.
Etse Kriya.
Barbara Cobrenham Glay.
Etse Kriya.
Petra van der Horst.
Etse Kriya.
Mari Aigra.
Etse Kriya.
Nicole Byrne.
Etse Kriya.
Evelyn Doendam.
Etse Kriya.
Kasper Kowalczyk.
Etse Kriya.
Chi Kwan Young.
Etse Kriya.
Andrew Maxwell.
Etse Kriya.
Milan Milanov.
Etse Kriya.
Sarah Jane Bissett.
Etse Kriya. Dame Frances.
Well, I feel I can hardly follow that. Principal, kind Professor Bender, academic colleagues, graduates, new graduates, parents, supporters, congratulations to all of you. It's, for me, a tremendous privilege to be a graduate of the 5th oldest university in the English-speaking world. I, like so many of you in this room, have just become a member of a 500-year-old club, that of Aberdeen University graduates. And all of us are now entitled to put some letters after our names. But in your case, they mark the end of several years of study at this distinguished and ancient university. I am the lucky one. I have not had to write essays or spend hours in the lab or sit exams in order to wear this magnificent gown. I don't think I would want to go through again what all of you have done to earn your degrees. So I'm very proud to join your ranks, but I feel a little humble as I congratulate all of you on what you have achieved. But I also want to congratulate some other people here in the hall today, and that is those who have helped you to reach this point. As parents know, putting a student through university can be a nerve-wracking business. It may start with coaxing a reluctant teenager to do some homework and go to bed on time. But then comes university and the financial burden, even in this country, and there's also the anxiety of wondering whether one's student is doing enough work or getting enough sleep or eating anything more nourishing than pot noodles. Parents, relatives, friends and supporters, all of you deserve a round of applause for what you have done to get your students to this wonderful day. And fellow graduates, can we give them all a round of applause? The university too, and all its staff, academic and non-academic, deserve congratulations. I've now worked with 2 other universities, one on each side of the border, in the course of my career, and so I know how much thought goes into providing the right courses for the right students and into helping every student to achieve the best possible results. I hope that all of you will keep in touch with Aberdeen University in the years ahead, because it's enormously rewarding for those who've taught you and who have looked after you while you've been here to see what becomes of you as you travel through life. Now, I have 3 special thoughts that I would like to leave with you all today, and I'm sure you will be relieved to know that not one of them is about economics. First of all, don't expect too much too soon from your degree. One's 20s are often rather an unsatisfactory stage of life. You get a job, you feel very proud, and then you find yourself the most junior person in the office, sitting around, feeling bored and underappreciated, and wondering what on earth you're supposed to be doing next. Put up with it. Don't be in too much of a hurry to move on. A job is not the same as your life at university, and it will take time for you to discover how best to use the skills that you will have acquired here. The skills that matter in the workplace are not necessarily the same ones that get you a good degree. You may need to learn to be part of a team, or to manage other people, or to get your colleagues to listen to your views. And incidentally, if you have difficulty with the last skill, you're not alone. The founder of this university, Bishop Elphinstone, had the same experience. In 1513, he was strongly opposed to going to war with England in support of the French, wise man. King James IV ignored him, and the result, sadly, was the massacre of Scots nobility at the disastrous Battle of Flodden. So, sadly, just because what you say is wise and right, you can't always guarantee that others will listen to you. Secondly, keep in touch with the friends that you've made here. All of you, as I could hear from the cheers, all of you have made new friends since you arrived at Aberdeen. Keep them. Of course, Facebook and WhatsApp and Snapchat make all of that easier than it used to be. But you need just the same to work at your friendships if you are to keep them alive. In the next decade, many of you will move away, perhaps a continent away. So write from time to time to your university friends to find out about their lives and to keep them in touch with yours. It really is worth doing. Some of the friends that you have made here will mean more to you in 40 or 50 years, in the 2050s, the 2060s, than many of the people that you will meet in the course of your working life. And third, learn to reflect on the good things in life. However successful you are, there will be times in the years ahead when you feel you haven't achieved quite what you hoped in your work or in your friendships or in your family life. One of the best habits that I have learned is to jot down every evening 2 or 3 things that have brought me moments of joy that day. Tonight, I won't just be jotting down the pleasure of this ceremony, but also the Iron Brew ice cream cone that I had on the beach this afternoon. You can't get that in Oxford. To feel gratitude for life's moments of happiness is a way not just to fight off depression, but also to learn contentment. And if you add that skill to the academic skills that you have acquired in your years here at Aberdeen, then the world really will be your oyster. So I wish you all success in your chosen careers, good friends to keep you company, and above all, an awareness of the good moments in life and the sense of contentment that that will bring. Good luck, and thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dame Frances. And now, friends, will you be upstanding and join me in singing God Save the Queen? The Reverend, the Chaplain to the University.
Friends, may the road rise to meet you. May the wind be always at your back. May the sun shine warm upon your face. The rain fall soft upon your fields. And until we meet again, may God hold you in the palm of his hand. Amen.